Hi, my name is James Schofield, Chief Executive Officer of JZ Networks Corporation. We are here at the Suburban Extended Stay Quality Inn to talk a little bit about some of the work that we did here. So I'm going to show you some pictures about some of the work that we did, as well as go over some of the challenges and some of the customizations that we were able to do in order to set this place up for success. Let's take a look at the pictures and I'll walk you through it. So for the Suburban Extended Stay Hotel and the Quality Inn, we were extremely lucky because they were renovating and really just getting set up. And so we were able to go in without interruption from, typical business operations. And so we were able to go in and very quickly start to set up the mounts that you are seeing here that we put into the drop ceilings throughout the hotel. Now, once we were putting those in, I had another person, as I was mounting those, putting in all of the network cable. And in the end, and this was what was crazy, we ended up working with 9,000 feet of cable, and then we routed them all into what they had set up into one of their rooms existing with their modem. We were able to put in the Dream Machine Pro and a 150 watt network switch there. Now, the only reason why I put an 8-port switch into the MDF, which we'll call this the MDF here, if you do work, is because we ended up setting up IDFs, and we'll call them IDF hallways because really that's what they were. They weren't actual closets. They were hallways because we really didn't have a lot of room to put any network racks in. So we set up fiber lines into those that were 10 gigabits a piece, which if you are not up on the lingo, 10 gigabits, we'll just say, is very fast. I mean, we're thinking a freeway with all lanes open. So it worked really efficiently, and we were able to use that. And some of the IDFs, as you can see, used only 8-port switches because some of the sides of the building, we really didn't need a lot. Now, we also ran battery backups, and we ran redundant power supplies provided by Unifi. We also ended up using some PoE injectors, which are supplied when you purchase the cameras. Now, as you can see here, we are starting to work with getting everything worked through. We have the mounts already in place, and with the mounts, they already have pre-cut holes that we can run the Ethernet down into. And that is what Jacob, which is one of our great employees, is doing right now. And then once that's put in place, it's very easy for it to get put into the actual cameras. And then once the cameras are mounted, as you can see here in the tile, they're fully integrated. The indoor cams, you can completely hide the wires into the drop ceiling or even into the wall, depending on how you mount them. They're very discreet, very sleek looking. They will go right into any drop ceiling or any wall and just look very neat and clean and high tech. And that's the other great thing about Unifi, is it looks like a high-tech security device. So you're not worrying about it. Now, another thing that we did was, as we were mounting them, we also did take a look. You'll see there's a camera right above our Unifi system. Those are the old cameras. Now, as a rule for us, we don't remove the cameras. We can if you'd like us to, but we don't remove them. And the reason being is for two reasons. One, because that kind of gives us an idea of where you had existing surveillance, because normally you still want the same surveillance you had before, maybe just beefed up. But the other thing too is that creates also, for people who are looking, the wonder if that camera is still working or not. And the thing is we can keep in the existing system for you, and that's what's great about Unifi. It's a separate system. You can keep your existing system if you still want to use it, and just have Unifi augment that for you, and nobody else will be the wiser. Now, as you can see, we mounted them directly outside as well. Those are our G3 Pro cameras and G3 Bullet cameras. Now, those cameras work phenomenal outside, fully waterproof. And then on the inside, as you can see, we also started to mount all of the Wi-Fi too, because Unifi can handle Wi-Fi and it can handle your surveillance needs all in one unified system. And with the Unifi access points, we were able to mount them directly to the drop ceiling. Now, again, they look perfectly sleek. We can have them have that nice little energized ring around them to kind of draw attention to the fact that they're there, or we can turn those off. And another great feature about Unifi is that the system, when you get it hooked up, you can see the throughput, which is basically how much of your network is being used. This last picture is a Unifi long-range access point in a hallway with a lot of metal around it. And the reason why we can deploy that is because Unifi access points, especially the long range, can get through any metal, drywall, plaster, or any sort of interference that you might have. And they can all talk to each other, which means as one gets weaker, the other access point will pick up your device, so you have no loss of connectivity. So as I just discussed, this was a major project. It was a very big building, a lot of cameras to deploy, and giving Wi-Fi throughout. However, as we saw, Unifi was able to handle everything. With the Unifi Dream Machine Pro, the Unifi NVR system, with Unifi Protect, we were able to set up all of the cameras and get robust guest Wi-Fi, as well as Wi-Fi for the employees and full-on wired networking for all the other computers without issue. Now, if you're looking for a project, no matter how big or how small, Unifi can take care of it. And if you're interested in learning more, just go to jznetworks.com right now and request more information from us. Thank you so much for watching.